Welcome to Kitchen Conversation with Lisa and Sterling, and today we're celebrating food professionals who are trying to keep our world safer on what is the first World Food Safety Day. And when people think about the world, they think the big problems on food safety are elsewhere, but Europe has its own issues. 23 million people become unsafe from food every year, and 4,700 people actually die from food safety. So it's a real big issue for us as well.
There are millions of sick days every year as well. And of course, all those people who are having to take time off work to look after their sick children. So the cost to the economy is absolutely enormous, apart from the human suffering, of course.
And it's really just the tip of the iceberg, because we don't really know how many people are being sick. These are largely reported cases, but largely food safety does go unreported, doesn't it?
Yes, that's right. So it's been well established that we might be a factor of 100 out anyway. But what we do know is that of all the things that cause gastrointestinal illness and related to food, that the most common ones are Norovirus and Campylobacter. But of course, Norovirus might actually come from hand touch contact rather than actually directly from food itself. Although, of course, there are some foods which are more likely to be associated with Norovirus, such as bivalve mollusks.
I was really shocked by the levels in Europe of Campylobacter. 5 million cases every year of the illness. It's extraordinary.
Well, I suppose if you multiply it up, we have the same sort of proportion in the UK. It's interesting when you look at the whole of Europe. A lot of these figures, in some countries like Italy, they hardly have any. Well, of course, that's not going to be the case. It's just that they're not recording it. So there is a difficulty of actually getting the real statistics and finding what the truth actually is. But I think we can safely say that Campylobacter is the biggest issue in terms of bacterial food poisoning in Europe, and we can't say about the rest of the world, but of course we eat a lot of chicken and it is associated with chicken. But there are other things actually that are associated with Campylobacter apart from chicken, so raw milk, for example. Yeah. And that's a reason why many health professionals don't like the sound of unpasteurised milk. Because that has been associated with problems. And also water, contaminated water, because Campylobacter is a natural zoonosis, so it's found in the guts of birds and other mammals, actually.
So World Food Safety Day, what a fantastic initiative. It gets people to focus back on something that's really critical to us. But food safety is for every day, and I hope you'll be joining the Kitchen Conversations, joining our conversations about food safety, and there's some specific podcasts coming out on something that's very dear to your heart, which is Campylobacter control, which is one of the things that this research has highlighted.
Join us then for Kitchen Conversation.